How's it going, everybody? My name's Aaron. This is my Kyosho Inferno Race Spec, the brand new ready-to-run kit from Kyosho that just came out here fairly recently. And I'd like to do a little small review on it because I haven't seen a lot of English reviews on this kit. It must be a little bit more popular overseas, perhaps. I'm actually stationed in Okinawa, active duty Air Force. Been here for about 6 months and just got back into RC. My fiance isn't here yet, so gotta have a good hobby besides going out to the bars and getting drunk. So decided to get back into RC. This is my brand new 8th scale buggy. It's not brand new anymore. So we'll go ahead and start out with what you get in the kit. You get this receiver. There's a KT100 2.4 gigahertz receiver. And I'll go ahead and show you the steering speed of the servos. Not breaking any records, but not too bad for ready to run. Throttle servo is the exact same. Servos, once again, the receiver, something you definitely want to change out. You want to change out your receiver, maybe switch to your own transmitter. Like I have a Futaba 4PL, love it. So I'm going to get a Futaba receiver for this, swap it out, be good to go. The servos, they're alright. They're supposed to be high torque. The KS 102BK from Kyosho, like I said, they're labeled as high torque. They have both of them as the same for throttle and steering, and they do an alright job. The steering, it's not the fastest, neither is the throttle, but they have enough torque to get the job done, and don't have any issues binding up or, burning themselves out, so that's nice. One thing to note, the servo home for the throttle, if it's on the middle post in the back, you might want to move it to the very furthest post away from the center of the servo, because I was having issues setting my idle with it on the second post. So that was one of the first things I changed, along with the receiver pack, or the battery pack. Changed out from a AA pack to a 5-cell hump pack. Other than that, this thing's full up stock. The engine is K25, it's .25 racing engine, more bashing engine, definitely, because it's not even in a class for a 2.1 engine. But good torque, good top speed, tunes pretty easily, holds a tune great. Okinawa is a hard place to hold a tune for. It's humid, temperature changes a lot. I haven't really messed with it once the initial tune. I've adjusted it maybe a half turn here or there to, just change it just by sound and smoke. And it runs great. Don't have any issues with bogging or flaming out or nothing like that. Still running the stock glow plug. I've almost put a whole tank of gas through it, or not a whole tank of gas, whole quart of gas through it. And so far I have no problems with it. Let's see here. The tank, it's a 125cc tank, which I guess is a race spec tank, so it works fine. One thing, the issue with the body, it's kind of a pain in the ass. This hole is kind of small to get this through, but I'm just going to put a little zip tie action on here, some fuel tubing. Should be good to go. As far as durability, this kit is not that bad. It is pretty durable. I'm on a really nasty track, and it tore up the bottom pretty good, but all the screws are still there. All the screw heads don't seem to be damaged. Really gave it hell for the first time out with it on the track. I've been bashing it around down in a park next to my house for a little bit, and no problems, but man, the track really ate it up. They had a triple jump there, which first time out with an 8-scale buggy probably isn't the best idea to go out and try to hit triples, but I was hitting these triples probably about 30 or 40 miles an hour. I got leveling out just fine, and it was probably my 20 or 30th time around the track. I really, really hit it hard. I ended up hitting a big rock before I hit it and tried to do a backflip in the air. So I pinned the throttle, tried to rotate out of it. Didn't happen, landed smack on the top of it, and I bent one of the rear shock towers. I mean, this thing was probably 6 or 7 feet in the air, and I just bent the rear shock tower. No damage to the engine. Rear wing is still holding strong. Maybe bent the plastic mounts for it a little bit. No big deal. I knocked the front links for the shock towers in the front. I knocked those off onto the buggy. Not off the buggy, but onto it to where they lost some travel. So I had to move those back. Other than that, that was it for the whole day. Didn't have any issues with the motor. Didn't have any issues with the suspension. Might have a slight shock leak, but it seems to have either leaked all the fluid out, but it doesn't feel like it, or just stopped from, maybe got them overheated, seeped a little bit out, but now it seems fine. Another thing to note, the pull start, I had some problems getting the pull start to not stick. It might have just been me pulling it out too far a little bit, or just a little internal mechanism. So you just gotta kind of flip it over, rotate the flywheel, retracts, try it again, and you're off. Transmission on it is good, just a single gear. I'm not sure on the tooth pitch, but this thing will probably do about 45, 50 miles an hour, maybe even a little bit more. I had it out on the road, which I ended up tearing up my tires a little bit, and you can see how hard I bashed it just by this wheel. Got some new wheels for it. I got some AKA impacts and some dish wheels. But yeah, I really gave it hell, and it took it. It liked it. It really liked being on the track. It was fast, had fun. Everybody was asking, what kit it was, and I was telling them, oh, it's a ready to run. It's a ready to run. People weren't believing me that it was a ready to run until they actually looked it up that it was an Inferno Neo, because the old Inferno Neo was pretty soft, plastic chassis, just not the best. This will go out there and give you a shot against some of the bigger boys. I'm not saying it'll beat them, but in my experience with RC, it's more of the racer than the actual kit. You can throw a lot of parts on this that are from older Kyosho models like the MP9 and the M7.5. You can throw lots of parts on there. I know the shock towers are interchangeable with the 7.5. Probably going to switch out to some hardened shock tower mounts. I'm going to change out the servos. Already ordered a new receiver for it to go with my 4PL. But out of the box, I was really surprised, really happy. Really fast kit. Handles great. No problems with any driveline stuff. Kyosho's, I've noticed, have had real good drive lines. Real good dog bones, drive shafts, everything like that is strong. And clutch is good. I'd say just the right amount of give and go. Had it out on the road, launched pretty good. I wasn't overheating or doing anything like that with clutch. Ran fine. So this would be a kit for someone to get if they're just trying to get back into RC, or really just start with 8th scale buggy. It's not going to cost you $1,000 to start up with this kit. I bought this kit for about $400, actually about $450 with the exchange rate over here in Japan. And where you go to a kit where it's $450 and you don't really have everything you need at all. You need tires, you need electronics, you need an engine, pipe. You need a lot of shit to get you just on the road. And then the first day you go out and you break something, there you go. You're still in the same boat. You go out, spend $400, get something a little bit less, and you can kind of build up to that point. I feel like this kit, you can build up and be just as good as an MP9 eventually. Because you can swap out just as many parts and get up to that level. Or you can keep this as your weekend basher and get an MP9 if you really, really like 8th scale buggy and have that be a racer, and then have this to go terrorize the kids down the street. But great kit to start out with. I'm not going to call it a race kit as it's labeled, but it could be. It could be with a little bit of work and some time invested in it. I think that you could really do it. I think if you put a .21 engine in it, changed out the shock towers, get some real hardened anodized shock towers, changed out the springs, got the right spring rates in it, aligned it really good, maybe put some stiffer roll bars in the front, better wing. I'd probably put an MP9 wing on this. This wing seems a little flexy. That's it. I mean, you could have a really strong kit. Besides, change the servos out, obviously. You can have a strong kit. You can spend $1,000 to get this kit up to that other kit, but this one's ready to go right from the start. I mean, you can spend another, $400 or $500 later down the line. I mean, it's all up to you whether you want to spend $1,000 right off the line, or if you want to spend $1,000 in a year to get it up to a race spec eventually. But this is a nice way to test out, a hobby grade 8th scale buggy without breaking the bank. So, if you have any questions on this kit, I know I didn't touch on a lot of specific items. So if you have a specific question on how something works on the buggy, or a question on how it handled or performed specifically, please comment. Let me know. Subscribe. I'm going to do even more reviews. Probably do another one tonight, maybe. See how I feel. But thank you so much for tuning in. Like I say, please subscribe. I'll be doing more of these, hopefully weekly, maybe even daily. So thanks so much. Take care, and I'll see you later.